Welcome to the Talking Sport Report podcast with Scotty and Eggo.
We have made it. Week 2 of the Talking Sport Report podcast. This is Eggo. Hey, Scotty. How are you, legend?
Mate, doing well. Big weekend.
Huge weekend.
Mate, I'm just going to say that intro is fantastic. Do you
Knocked together in 5 seconds.
Keep him in a back room and just bring him out at 8:30 every Sunday night?
I do, actually. He's tied up, which is very interesting. My wife keeps asking me, why is there a guy with extremely large testicles just hanging out the back? And it's like, well, he's got to do our Talking Sport Report podcast opener each week. So
Mate, you feed me well. You can tie me up whenever you want.
So week 2 of the Talking Sport Report podcast, Scotty and Eggo here. Now, what we do is every week we come on and we talk about the 3 biggest sporting stories that we believe is happening in the world right now. And this week, a lot happening in the world of sport. We've got to cover today the State of Origin sides. They are imminent. Well, one of them is anyway. The New South Wales Blues are about to drop their team. Honestly, we thought it would have been dropped about half an hour ago. As we record this on a Sunday night Australian time. So what we're going to do is we were going to lead as the first story being the Blues. We're going to push that to the second it drops. We're going to chat about it. So it could be story 2 or 3 tonight. We're also going to talk about the NBA Conference Finals. We've got a Game 7 tomorrow. But we're going to kick it off at the top with the EPL nearing its final week, Scotty. You're a massive soccer fan. And the FA Cup final.
Huge, I tell you. Just before we get into the biggest of those two, this EPL race is massive. You know, obviously Liverpool crowned champions, but just having a look, you've got potentially, looking at this, you've got 5 teams that can chop and change coming into the last weekend. This last weekend will decide who makes Champions League, who makes Europa League, who makes Europa Conference. There's big money, massive money. So it's going to be interesting. 1 a.m. next Monday morning, our time. I'm still contemplating cracking a sickie just so I can sit up for 90 minutes and watch a little bit of football.
So the way, again, being I am a massive soccer/football fan, but I have been very much taken over by NBA the last number of years. So is it still the way it used to work where the final week of the EPL is all at the same time so no one can match fix and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. All of them kicking off at 1 a.m., which is, it's massive. You fire up Opta Sport, you can put on Goal Rush, which is going to feature one game but cut to goals at other grounds, or you can focus on your one game, which I will probably do, knowing that the Aston Villa are close. It's basically, it's out of their hands now. They just got to do their bit and win and hope other teams drop points, things like that. Mate, I'm telling you, I'm frothing for it. I reckon it's worth a sickie Monday. I'm telling you.
You don't necessarily need to have a sickie because it's 1 a.m., Scotty. Who's working at 1 a.m.? You're not stocking shelves at Woolworths anymore.
Yeah, I know, but it's then to sleep in. I'm not tired. Okay. And come on, seriously, what's more important, EPL or your career?
That's true. But I mean, both of us are fathers. So the idea of actually having sleep is basically non-existent anyway. So what other days do we not? Yeah. What other day are we not at 1 a.m.?
But then that leads us into the FA Cup overnight. Absolutely massive. Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. Honestly, as a football fan, I thought City, they've had a terrible season, which is really good to see. But I honestly thought they were going to come out, win a trophy. Crystal Palace, been a professional club since 1905, have just won their first major trophy. And I can tell you, I've not seen a goalkeeper single-handedly win their team a game like that in so long. I'm talking save penalties, one-on-one, reflex saves, dead set, man. This guy was like a cat. Everything you threw at him, he was just getting hands on. It was unbelievable.
Oliver Kahn-esque, would you say? Oliver Kahn, the great German legend.
You do love that, man.
I do.
I reckon Oliver Kahn would have taken a few things from that. He would have absolutely loved that performance. I thought it was amazing, but I'll tell you, one of the best things I did see was adults, old people in that stadium crying at full time because they've finally seen their team win a trophy, which is amazing.
I agree. Now, that's a really important point, but before we get there, let's just take a step back. Now, you are, I don't know if you are or you just were, because You come out of retirement every 5 seconds, so I'm not sure. But if you were to play football right now, you are a goalkeeper, correct?
No. I impersonate one.
You impersonate one.
Yeah, I pretend.
As
I reckon it's the least amount of running.
As a former, current impersonating goalkeeper, a little bit like Oliver Kahn would have been doing, do you get a little bit, I don't know, aroused at the fact of another goalkeeper doing well? Or is it one of those things where you're not aroused because you're like, oh, I wish I could do that? Is it a jealousy thing or is it an arousal thing?
When you're playing them, say, for example, I'm playing you, you're the opposition keeper, and you've just saved a penalty, I'm filthy. I'm dead set not happy about it. But when you're watching two teams play and you don't go for either, you can fully appreciate a goalkeeper just pulling saves out of his ass. Like, in all honesty, that guy would have, he'd keep any house in Redfern safe with how well he kept.
Amazing.
It was fantastic.
So he single-handedly won the game.
I believe so. Yeah, absolutely.
What would have the score been? Like, if you say you had a mediocre game, what do you think the score probably should have been if he doesn't pull shit out of his ass?
3-1, 4-1
to Man City.
Penalty. Yeah. Those one-on-one saves.
That's huge.
Reflexes, unbelievable. Like, if you get a chance, just watch the 3-minute highlights on Opta Sports. Sorry, they're not sponsoring us. It's the second time I've dropped Opta Sport in this. If you get a chance, I recommend it to anyone. Just 3 minutes. I tell you. There's other things that I do that go less than 3 minutes and they're just as satisfying.
Yeah, trust me. The quicker the better sometimes. You can get to sleep. You did bring up a second ago the grown men stuff. You did send me a clip. It's the full-time siren. The crowd starts, singing their song, and you literally have men that some of them are like 80, like who have probably never seen any success from their shithouse club. Finally see some success.
Shithouse, mate.
I can say that because I support Arsenal, and we're shithouses at the best of times, even though we're generally top four.
I can't talk. I haven't seen
silverware is the key.
Trophy.
That's it. Silverware. Like, when have either of us really won some solid silverware of late? I mean, Crystal Palace have got it on us.
21. Sorry, it's been 31 years. Jeez.
Holy So now I've got every reason to call them shithouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Until this point,
jealousy's a curse.
It is. But yeah, people were like literally crying in the stands, right?
Absolutely beautiful to see. Honestly, I probably would have if it was my team as well.
Aston Villa, man. Hey, you guys made the Champions League last year, and as you pointed out, like with all these sides, we should just touch on them quickly. So essentially, these sides can all make Champions League next year. So Nottingham Forest, can they make it technically?
Absolutely. I'll be honest with you. No. To be honest, I think they're all but ruled out. Looking at it, no,
they're playing West Ham.
Oh no, they're not. They've got 2 games in hand, 6.68.
They do.
They can make it. And I'll be honest, I tipped them to flirt with relegation this year. So they've really silenced a lot of people. They've got a Kiwi up front who was basically on the verge of joining the A-League. And he's now just scoring for fun in the Premier League. Forest, that shocked me. City can still miss it, which would be amazing to see.
You'd have to say that the fact that they are sitting currently 6th and they might not, or even if they're slightly going to just scrape into the 4, that's a fail season, right?
Oh, 100%. But then you got to remember too, they're facing 115 charges, which
are being just slimy fucks.
Yeah, exactly. That, who knows what that could do? That could get ruled out. They could be relegated. They could have European football.
So what are the charges for? As a person who doesn't follow it as closely as you do.
Basically, it's like you said, just being slimy fucks. Just being Manchester City.
Just being Manchester City. That's what the charge is.
Yeah.
G'day, sir. What is your charge? We are a bunch of slimy fucks. We are Manchester City. Yeah.
Bingo. Okay.
No, I've got to be careful though, because they're Manchester people are lovely people, but there are some people you don't want to mess with.
No, exactly right. Exactly. It'd be so easy for them just to pull a shiv. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Fair enough. Aston Villa.
Let's move on. No, Villa they've got a huge chance Massive chance. They do go to Manchester United next weekend, Old Trafford. We haven't had much success there, like ever, since the Premier League started. So it's out of our hands. It all depends how Chelsea go, how Forest go, how City go. I'm overly confident Newcastle and Arsenal have theirs wrapped up. So basically that's 3 out of the 5 spots, I reckon, are all but sorted. I think it's all going to come down to 4, 5, 6, 7.
Having said that, though, Manchester United, not the greatest year. I mean, they're not terrible. Relegation, but they're not far off it.
Them and Tottenham. I honestly picked Tottenham to be up there and Forest to be down where they are. So, I don't know. It's just been one of those years where...
Let's get Wrexham in there, guys. Let's just get Wrexham in.
That's a whole different story, that is.
Yeah.
Watch this space. We'll be touching on this at this time next year.
So Wrexham are now going to be one under the Premier League, right? Yeah. So they're in Championship?
They're going up to the Championship, yeah.
Crazy. Massive. Has this ever been done before? Like, what's it, like 5 promotions in a row or something like that?
So they went, last season and the season before. So they're promoted twice in a row. Ipswich did do it a few years back, and I think theirs was 4. But then they've just been relegated themselves. So it's hard. Coming up's hard. Staying up's harder.
Not as hard, though, when you've got... Not as hard coming up when you've got 2 extremely rich people who can drag Netflix in, and all of a sudden there's players going, I don't really want to play for Wrexham, but I'll get a spot on the Netflix show or the... What show? Where are they on? Are they on Netflix? Is it on Amazon? I don't even know, but...
Or is it like on Disney?
It could be on... Yes, that makes more sense. Disney, yeah.
That's massive.
So you basically get, like... You think about all these players going, we're borderline, like, really good players, but we can't make the big sides. We'll go play for Wrexham, and then we can be part of this story where we essentially become, superstars without even being in the Premier League yet, and their careers are then made.
Well, I tell you what, though, in which world do you not want to play football for Deadpool?
Oh,
I would.
Well, right now he's an interesting one in Hollywood. He's not the happiest character, but in terms of everything else, anyway.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, moving right on. We'll leave him and Blake over there to fight that fight. Okay, NBA Conference Finals is our second story tonight. So the NBA Conference Finals, you would be, I guess, remiss if you think that the NBA is now technically over. I know you think it is over because you're a Celtics fan, and the mighty Knicks have rolled the Celtics, which I didn't think was even a slight chance before this Eastern Conference semifinal took off a bit over a week ago. It ended up being like it wasn't a cakewalk, but to be up 2-0 to the Celts when you had your first 2 games at home was a bit of a surprise, and then obviously Jason Tatum going down with an Achilles. That is shattering because he's a legend and a great player, and you don't like to see it. But you would have saw probably over social media the last 24 hours, 5th Avenue, I think it is, or 7th Avenue in New York, just lined with people. It looked like after Argentina won the World Cup and they were climbing shit. Like they were climbing skyscrapers and billboards.
I tell you what I love from that. Could you imagine walking out of the house yesterday, just knowing that you're going to an NBA Finals game and just saying to your wife, don't know when I'll be home. She can guarantee there's going to be people in those streets that have not been home in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what, I bet you every second person has someone trying to sell them a rap CD on the side of the street.
Yeah, well, funny enough, you and I were both in New York City one time together, and we thought we saw Snoop Dogg, but being silly idiots, it wasn't Snoop Dogg selling photos on the side for $10 a pop. It was a Snoop Dogg lookalike. So he got us. Ringer. He got us good. He got us very good. Ringer. Yeah.
I tell you, I fell for the rap CD. I won't lie, and then I made you cross the street with me, so I didn't have to walk past them.
Yeah.
They soon found us. They got their blank CD back.
Yeah. That is it's nuts scenes because you'd be totally thinking most people who don't follow sport would see they go, oh cool, the Knicks won the NBA Finals, awesome, that's great news, I'm so happy for them. But no, they're now in the Eastern Conference Finals, and if you don't follow the NBA, you have to win that best of 7 series. They're taking on the Indiana Pacers, who actually knocked them out last year. So it's going to be a very fiery battle. We're 2 days away from that kicking off in Madison Square Garden. New York have home court. But not only do they have to win that series, and they then go and play the actual playoffs, the finals. And that's versus the Western Conference, which, most likely will be OKC if they can get through their Game 7 tomorrow with Denver. Just crazy, crazy scenes.
It blows my mind though that it's like we literally just talked about the FA Cup. We just spoke about the FA Cup. One game, 90 minutes of football to determine the winner. No, not the Americans.
No.
If we're going to drag this out over 7 games, you're going to pay. If you want to come, you're really going to pay for those. Could you imagine being that diehard you're going to, if it goes to it, all 7? You'd want to be on some coin.
I heard rumors on social, so I don't know how much you believe it, but I wouldn't be too far from the truth. Like, we're talking 50K plus for courtside seats.
Massive.
Just for that Boston game 3. So could you imagine they're saying this game 1 in New York City is the biggest game in New York's history for a long, long time. The fact that the everything's opened up like this, the fact that the Cavs lost in the last playoff series to the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are no pushovers, don't get me wrong, but they're not the Cavaliers who basically finished with the best record in the East. So the fact that the Knicks have gotten through Boston, who no one thought could even, there was calls of like 4-1 kind of vibe, Boston to beat the Knicks. The fact that they've got through that and now they've got Indiana, that's a hell of a lot easier. And I think what we've noticed in the Western Conference is OKC just cruised through the year, but they are a young side, so they've got all these young players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is, going to get the MVP, rightly or wrongly. But if he makes it through this Game 7 tomorrow against the Nuggets, because the reason why I'm saying I think he will is because Aaron Gordon is in doubt. Now, if the Nuggets lose him, it's just going to be so hard for them to pull out a Game 7 in OKC. And then the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards versus OKC is going to be amazing. But the fact that these sides have, especially the Nuggets, have proven that the OKC side is not at greatness yet. They are a beatable team. And the one thing about the Knicks or the Pacers, they're both just bulldogs. Like, they are just going to rip and tear and just play dirty basketball, throw elbows, a little bit like you on a Saturday night when you haven't had your sleep and you've had a few extra beers. Yeah, a few extra beers. Wouldn't you agree? Like, it just means this could be the Knicks' best and probably only chance to win a title. I know that's a big call to be making before the actual Eastern Conference Finals.
You said it yourself when the Cavs went out and even 1-0 down to the Knicks. I thought, seriously, is there any other team that could potentially do Boston? And yeah, well, mate, you said it yourself. You've just knocked off Boston. You have a hell of a lot easier run coming up. I'm calling it. It's going to be something similar. It's going to be 4-2, I reckon, to the Knicks. I'm calling it now. Touch back on this in a week or so. Thank me then. Get on Sportsbet right
4-2 to the Knicks.
4-2. Get on right now, Sportsbet. You're on.
I did ask you last week. I said I really want some more betting prowess from you. So let's.
You're on.
4-2. I went into the Celtics season. I went into the Celtics series and I said, we're going to lose this. And I'm going into this series thinking we're going to lose it because one thing Indiana did last year was they kicked our ass. They just played so hard and they were just all over it. I'm getting the better beer burps.
I thought you had the yips. I thought you were that nervous you were getting the yips.
I'm so nervous.
I remember you texted me 2 weeks ago. You're like, yeah, baby, Knicks versus Boston. How good? ... It's a shame you guys are going to dust us.
Yeah.
I've deleted that message. I don't want any reminder of just how that went.
Think about it. You're an Aston Villa fan. You know exactly where I'm coming from. When your side is just pretty well garbage most years, and they showed an image of like all the past, lineups from the last 20 years of the Knicks, and there's some shockers in there. You just think to yourself, how could you ever really support this side? But you just do because you love it. And you supported Villa when they got relegated and all that kind of stuff. And you were down there in the championship going, this sucks. But, it's hard work supporting a side that's doing bad. So then when you finally get the success like you had with Villa last year making the Champions League, on the precipice of doing that again this year.
You expect the worst.
You do.
You go into it thinking, like in your instance, you'll go into it going, we're just going to do the Knicks things now. I go into it going, yeah, we're going to do Villa things here. Yeah, I get it. I do get it. Mate, ride that wave while you're still on a surfboard. I'm telling you.
Okay, here you go. If the Knicks win the title, I'm going to get Jalen Brunson's face holding up his 3 he does. I'm going to get his 3 tattooed on my ass.
Massive.
Tattooed on my ass. That's how sure I don't think we're going to win the finals, because I haven't got a single tattoo. So most people go, "Oh yeah, so what?" No, I'm a clean skin. So I'll get his 3 tattooed on my ass if we win the title.
I'm getting off here tonight, and I'm texting my tattooist, and we're going to set up a day. Yeah,
even better. I'll get you can tattoo my ass.
I'll do it.
Even better.
Be a stick figure. It'll be a stick figure and woeful, and it'll probably get infected. But you're on.
Now it is 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock New South Wales, Sydney time. So, I mean, we can't wait any longer for this fucking team. So let's move on to our third story tonight, because we have to unpack another deck of cards.
We definitely do.
Yeah. So last week for our first week of this podcast, we grabbed a set of NRL playing cards, the National Rugby League, and we unboxed them just for a bit of fun to end the show. And Scotty, you've got a deck, and we'll get to that in a minute. It's been literally scratching at your soul for the last week, hoping that you could open it. So what are the rumors of the Blues? There's a lot of interesting stories that have come out of this New South Wales Blues. Maroons will most likely drop their side tomorrow morning, so we can have a little bit of a look at what the rumor is. But what is the current rumored Blues side that is all but known?
Oh, the rumoured side has now taken a massive hit because of injuries. Like, a concussion has ruled out, I'll tell you, a player I didn't think would get picked, Jake Trbojevic, captained the winning side last year. I don't see him getting a spot this year, pre-injury, pre-concussion. But looking at their predicted lineup, you can't even run with that now, because Payne Haas, he's done his quad. Mind you, though, a quad that size, I'm sure there's 95% good muscle in there. He'll be right. How would you even rub that down to check it out? Like, it's just you'd need 3 different physios on it. It's a 3-day event, I reckon.
Yeah,
it'd be like an international. It'd be like a weekend event. Pay $15, buy a ticket, you all get a rub.
See, but maybe the injury was last weekend, but it's taken them this whole week to work out the quad is actually hampered, and they've found it's like trekking across the Amazon.
I tell you what, they've probably gone in with like an ultrasound to figure it out, and they're doing this big thick thing, and then realise that it was the middle leg. Who knows? Yeah. I'm expecting Payne Haas to be a little bit of a weapon.
Well, that'd suck if we lose him. Lose him up front, the big bopper.
Although Terrell May, I reckon, would be a suitable replacement if he gets over his little spat Thursday night.
So run me through that. What's happened there?
What was he doing? He was live streaming.
Yes.
I think he was playing the PlayStation, and
as you do,
heard rumours that he's not getting picked, and said to his boys, "Oi, that Blues jersey I just brought, bring it over. I want to chuck it in the bin." Something like that. And then Brad Fittler's called him out. Now, I understand Brad Fittler's job is to report on things, give his say. But, mate, I wouldn't be surprised if Terrell May turns this into a Gallen v Sonny Bill Williams type setup, because I would pay to see that. I 100% would pay to see that.
Would be a decent fight. I just don't think it'd be a no-show. I think that the size and reach would be well in May's favour. Having said that, though, that's almost been a bit of a trademark of Fittler, because from memory, Ulukwatu, who's almost a guarantee spot in this Blues jersey this time, when he missed out on selection a few years back, I think Fittler was the coach, or may have eventually selected him, but he had to come in and apologise, had a little bit of a similar dummy spit, and then ended up in the Blues side after an apology. Does that mean that May has to then go and apologise?
We're on.
Breaking news.
We're on. 20-man squad.
Oh, run me through it, baby girl.
One debutant.
One.
Oh my God.
How is that possible with all the injuries? So before you go through the side, just run us through the people who are injured that are out. So Trbojevic is out.
Trbojevic gone, concussion.
Yeah.
Out straight away. Well, let's go through it because this 20-man squad includes 3 emergencies and 1 debutant.
Okay. Go slow.
right.
Go slow. Just ease it in for me, baby.
Spit on it.
You know what? You know I like my Blues jerseys and my Blues sides red with just a little bit of spit and just a little bit slower, just to ease it in.
I'm actually quite surprised. All right, from 1 through to 20, Dylan Edwards coming in at the 1.
Guarantee like that.
Yeah,
if I would have had a chance to say before this, that's for me. He's a lock.
100%.
Absolute lock.
No, he's fullback.
The fact
No,
that
he's fullback.
the fact that there was even like conversation that Pappy's been great, and Teddy, I love you, Teddy, but you're 93 and you have a walking frame. Like seriously, he was the fullback last year. Everyone just needs to just shut up and let him be fullback. Anyway, keep going.
I agree with you. I'm just going through having a bit of a look. There may be a name or two here that I just don't even want to try and pronounce.
Right.
All right, so Dylan Edwards at the 1. Number 2, Brian Tiotto.
Yep.
For sure. And
Lock.
I can tell you, no, winger. The centres, easy. And Latrell.
Now, question.
And I tell you,
Crichton.
Yeah.
He's not right.
No, what do you mean?
Well, I've heard he's got groin issues, and he played the Bulldogs game with groin.
Train, yeah.
Yeah,
but then played 80 minutes. But he's just a freak. That guy.
I know, but that's tough, man.
Yeah.
Groin and Origin. But I hope he's good, and I'm sure he's the kind of guy who wouldn't jump into the side unless he was 100%.
Exactly.
So Latrell, was it Latrell the other one? Yeah, that's a huge centers.
Just played really well.
Awesome.
Really well. Zach Lomax on the wing, so no Turbo.
Wow.
No Turbo.
Even as a Manly fan, the game that Tommy just had.
Shocker.
Tommy's the turbo's blown. Like it's all over the road.
I'll be honest, it's my bank account's not taking a hit now because he would have been my first try scorer for sure. So Zach Lomax is taking that wing spot and deserving.
So that means he'll probably kick, will he? Because he was the kicker last year, and he was
Lomax, like Latrell.
Yeah, I mean Cleary.
I reckon. Do you know what? I reckon they should pick one to start, and you kick till you miss.
Yeah.
And Laurie Daly, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
Now for the halves.
Yes.
Halves. Who was your choice?
I would have said it's going to be Moses and Cleary.
So we've moved away from Jared Hayne, righto?
Yeah, sorry. No, Jared Hayne backed up. He didn't back up well last night. Yeah, last week after his wedding game, he realised that he needed to lose a few kilos. I think.
Spot on. Moses and Cleary.
Yeah.
6'7".
Which is interesting because they're both halfbacks, right? So one of them's got a sacrifice, but we saw Queensland do it so well with Cronk and Thurston back in the day, both full out halfbacks, and they just made our life as a New South Wales supporters just absolutely fucking painful for 12 years.
Made you feel like a Knicks fan again, didn't it?
Yep. Made me feel like I am most times in bed, just insuperior.
Just not a man.
Yeah.
Number 8, no surprise, Mitchell Barnett.
Of course. Former Knight, very, very good player.
But yeah, and before we started recording, you mentioned that he'd be in for sure.
Well, the rumour was heading into this weekend that Kurt Capewell was back on a plane to the Warriors. They played in Sydney they played in Australia this week. So he was back on a plane going back to New Zealand, which means he missed out on the Queensland side. But Mitch Barnett was staying in Sydney. So the rumour was, he's definitely in.
Hooker, Reece Robson from the Cowboys.
Okay, he played last year, solid as a rock.
The number 10, Payne Haas.
Maybe they're having the same issue that we've had, and they haven't been able to locate a spot on his groin.
They're still on the middle leg.
They're still on his penis. That's interesting. The quad. I mean, how do you tell? It's like circumnavigating the world. The quad, the groin, the penis. Like, it's just one big continent.
He'd be a big boy.
He would be. They're all one. They're all one thing.
11, 12, and 13's no shock. Liam Martin.
Of course.
Angus Crichton.
Yep.
Isaiah.
Yeah. Crichton, player of the series last year. Like, he was just phenomenal. And,
Yo got
three
the
awesome
captaincy
players.
Yo,
back. Okay.
Obviously, no Jake, who was the captain last year. 14, Connor Watson.
Yep. Can play anywhere. Can literally play any position. You need that.
Spot on. 15, what a unit. What a weapon. Spencer Leniu.
Oh, yeah. He's one of those ones that always worries me because he can't play, like, at a max. If he's galloping, he can play like 40 minutes, 50 minutes tops. I always worry, like, if there's a whole bunch of injuries. Like, remember there was a couple of Origins ago, a few years ago, where, like, it's like bang, knockout, bang, knockout.
Yes.
Injury. And you think, you're down to like 2 players on the bench, and you say, hey, Big Spencer, hey, we need 70 minutes out of you tonight. And by minute 60, he's literally on his back like a cockroach. Yeah.
But then maybe hold off. Send him out when the opposition's gassed. Give him fresh legs.
100%.
Straight after half time.
There's no doubting his impact was huge last year.
Massive. 16, Hudson Young.
Yep. Probably deserved it. Was bad last game for the Blues. The last game he played was shocking, but has been one of the best second rowers by far this year.
Into what I believe is our debutant, Max King. From the Doggies. The Doggies.
He won't let you down.
No,
he won't let you down.
Ripper season as well.
Yeah.
So deserved. And then 18, Campbell Graham.
Yep.
19, Stefano.
So Campbell Graham, stop there. So Campbell Graham would be there purely in case Crichton goes down, right?
You'd think so.
Yeah.
You'd think so. 19, Stefano Utukamanu from Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah. And then 20, Hamoli Olakawatu.
Wow.
So I reckon, you've got options there if Huss isn't fit.
So run me through the 4 bench players again. You had Watson?
Yeah, Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Hudson Young, Max King.
So Olakawatu doesn't make the side?
No.
Wow.
And that makes me nervous because
that does too.
Last time he was at an Origin game in a suit, he got suspended. Fucking weapon. That's brilliant. I don't reckon anyone else has done that. I don't see it.
Having said that, we did win the game, did we not?
Well, that's true.
That's true.
So, it's a solid side. 3 forwards, and like you said, Connor Watson can play anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of let's wait and see what Queensland are going to throw at us.
Yeah. So do we know what the rumours are for what they're going to throw our way?
I did have a bit of a look at their predicted, because again, there's concerns. I'm just having a bit of a look here as to where it was.
The other one that's interesting to talk about quickly while you're looking is Ryan Pappenhausen doesn't even make the 20-man squad, which is interesting.
Shocked me.
And I understand why we've probably gone away from him, but God, Jesus, can't you get him in the squad? Like, the guys are just a beast. Like, if anyone, that's super surprising to not see him in the squad.
So there you go. That's what I looked at before. So just having a look at a predicted Queensland side. Now this is pre this round.
Yes,
so
and of course, when people are hearing this podcast, the side is out. You'll know what the side is. But this is what we believe is the side currently. We'll see how far along we are.
Ponga, Xavier Coates, Val Holmes, the Hammer, Murray Tuilagi. He's out. Well, I assume he's out. He got injured on the weekend. 6 and 7's Munster, Cherry Evans.
Yeah.
Pat Carrigan, he could be out. His massive lip split. It was huge. He's waiting to see a plastic surgeon, apparently. That's how bad it was.
That's just for his face, right? That's not nothing to do with the injury. Nah, he's actually one of the handsomely good-looking men on the NRL roster.
Rumor has it he wants a quad like Haas or a third leg.
Yeah. Or eyebrows like Reece Walsh.
Oh, aren't they pretty?
He had a lot of
I'm
work
getting
done to get them like that. Yeah.
Getting
Sorry.
distracted. Number 9, my best mate Harry Grant, old Hazard.
Yeah. Yep.
Corey Horsburgh in the 10, Bo Firma in 11, Tom Gilbert 12, and Big Tino in the 13. And then the bench of Tom Dearden, Lindsay Collins, Jeremiah Nanai, and Ruben Cotter. So,
pretty good side. A good thing to note,
sign.
heading into this round, we kind of spoke about last week that basically Queensland had a shocker magic round.
Yeah.
Not one Queensland side, and I consider Melbourne to be a Queensland side, but not one Queensland side won this week.
I didn't even notice
all the
that.
Queensland sides and Queensland players to a certain degree are in pretty bad form. Like Cherry Evans, shocking form.
Played really well on the weekend.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I mean, they technically won, but he's been in bad form lately.
Yeah, and that's what some of the comments on socials were. It's like, well, he's waiting for an Origin selection. He's got to stand up.
Yeah.
He's got to have a crack.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm happy with this Blues side.
Yeah.
It's got the potential of being like that could be a locked in side for the next few years if everything goes to plan.
I know we sit here most years and say this though. We always sit here and go, oh yeah, like the Blues, they look good. And then Queensland has come out and absolutely spank our asses. And all the players, one thing I love about the Queensland side is every single year, like the side that you just named then, you almost guarantee that's what the side's going to be with zero changes. They seem to know exactly when to stick and know when to go find a new player to replace the player that needs to come out. And at New South Wales, we bend and we fold like leaves in the breeze. We are just so shit at picking a side and sticking with a side. And we could, like, it's just unbelievable how bad we are considering the talent that we have. Queenslanders always seem to know how to do it, and they just whip our asses.
I tell you one thing, if Cherry Evans goes down injured and Queensland run with Tom Dearden as halfback, Blues will wrap it up. Because I tell you...
You don't rate him?
No, I rate him. But I did read after last night's loss to Manly, that was his 27th start as halfback. He's lost 26 of them.
How is that possible?
That's just a stat that I read last night.
Oh, because he normally plays 5'8".
Yeah, so every time he's worn the 7 jersey, 27 times, he has lost 26 of those.
Well, I can guarantee one. That's a good point.
What do you mean 7?
I can guarantee one thing, though. When they pass the ball to Tom Dearden, no matter it's the first minute, the 17th minute, the 27th minute, or the 80th minute, if he's running at the line, tackle him because he doesn't pass it.
There you go.
He's always the show and go is like one of his biggest tricks. And for some reason, every player, every single time, every week just falls for it.
Yeah, exactly. You are right. Actually, I tell you what, give Laurie a text and let him know that, will you?
Don't worry about Laurie. Don't worry about Laurie. I reckon get on Tom Dearden anytime try scorer in the Origin, and I think his show and go close to the line will almost guarantee a try.
So, before I crack this pack of cards, give me your final take on this Blue side. What's your thoughts?
I love it. I think the difference makers will be, and this, I think it's New South Wales side that they've got the better side on paper. But as we always say, Queensland, there's something about that Queensland spirit, and it's a jealousy thing from New South Wales. I wish we had we've got pride in our jersey, but for some reason, the Queensland pride is just different. But if Moses and Cleary can get it right at 6 and 7, and that's a big if, but if they can, that's an amazing half combination. Because imagine just Mitch running, crazy lines and just going, hey, don't have to worry about controlling the game. Cleary's got that covered. You just run the ball like you did last year to basically win us the game. You just run the ball and be just a pest. We know both of them are fine in defense. Cleary's just hit this new level of like, holy shit, in terms of his games management, but he's been disappointing at Origin. So this is set up for him to go, this is your series. Our forwards are nuts. Like, look at the players we could have put in these sides tonight, and we didn't. So our forward pack and our second rowers, and we've had a whole bunch of injuries for this New South Wales side, and we're still so strong. And the fact that we can leave a guy out like Tom Trbojevic is just nuts. Like, absolutely nuts. And if I'm Queensland, I'm excited that Tom's not playing because, again, this is the same thing that happens every year for Queensland. When a player like Tom Trbojevic is out of form, Queensland still pick them because they know they grow a second or a third leg, more of a third leg. They'll grow a third leg when playing for Queensland. New South Wales aren't that solid, and but then again, Tom's also kind of busted. His knee's not right. He doesn't look like he's moving good, so I can understand why they didn't pick him. But just an amazing side the New South Wales got. But it all comes down to how it goes. First game is in Queensland, right? So that's just it's a bit of a Hail Mary game anyway, right?
Yeah, you're right. You come away with a win from that. Massive.
What are your thoughts on it?
I love it. You said it yourself. Dylan Edwards, amazing last year. We're looking towards the future, which is great. I'm now kind of putting my mind towards, and this was going to be my final question to you, who swings the first punch?
Can you take Paul Gallen from the sidelines? Could he just jump the fence because he sees Nate? He thinks he sees Nate Miles and just runs at someone and just throws the punch and realizes it's just Laurie's nose.
I don't think anyone's got a forehead that big.
True.
You could pretend.
Yeah.
I'm just
it's a jumbotron.
You could advertise on that.
Yeah.
I'm going Spencer Leniu for sure. He's first.
He's huge.
100%.
He's just a beast,
overall,
that guy.
Brilliant side, and I cannot wait for the 28th of May. It's going to be a great game.
What's one prediction that you reckon that's going to happen? Like, and it can be pre-game, post-game, during game, but like, what's one prediction that you would guarantee if you're a betting man? What are you putting it on? And
honestly, Mitchell Moses, player of the series.
Really?
Yeah. If New South Wales win it, I think he wins player of the series. Even though he's wearing the 6, I think he's going to take a lot of pressure off Cleary. He's going to guide. He's going to take the reins in one of those games and just turn it on its head.
Wow.
So, yeah. What about
I was going down
one?
more of the lines of I reckon Munster will be at the Caxton at least 3 o'clock the morning after the game. That's like my guarantee prediction lock.
With my best mate has agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we've racked up minutes tonight. So how about we get this bad boy cracked?
Final one. So each week lately we've been opening up packs of rugby league cards. Now, Scotty, I bought one last week and cracked it open. I don't. This podcast makes $0 because there's no fans. We did have one person. On TikTok, we posted a short, and the comment was, "This is shit content," and we wrote back,
Love that support.
"Agreed." We agree. We're not saying it's good. We're just saying we're having a bit of fun catching up. So, he since deleted his comment. Maybe he felt bad. I don't know.
I love that because not once did we turn around and say this is sensational listening.
Yeah,
Ever.
no, we didn't.
Ever. All right, so this I purchased 2 NRL packs and I purchased 2 Premier League packs, and these have been collecting dust for the last 6 days, and it is hurting me.
Right.
So I'm going to open an NRL pack right now. If you listen, you can hear that. That's crisp. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah. Know how excited you are. I wonder how many Origin plays we're going to get here. The over-under's got to be at 1 or maybe 2, but I'm feeling 2 Origin players.
All right then. Okay. First one, St. George Illawarra Dragons. He is a lock/prop. Jack DeBellin.
Ooh, we've got the prisoner edition of the cards. Wow. This is good. This is good. Is this the notorious packet?
Well, next one is from my team, Manly. Hasn't had much of a run this year, actually, on the wing. Tommy Talau, former Tiger.
Okay.
You've called it. There's our first one.
Origin. Okay. Queensland or New South Wales?
New South Wales, because the team's official. Do you want to have a guess?
It'd have to be Critter.
No.
No.
It's our mate, Latrell.
Oh, that is a nice card. Look at that beautiful bunny.
What's this? This is a nice looking card. Round 6, such and such haunts his former club with an impressive hat trick. A winger. Oh, Joshua Adokar.
Oh, that's a collector's edition. How many clubs ago was that?
That's actually a good question.
I feel like Adokar has been.
Damn it! I was
a few
hoping to
clubs.
really land something big here, but
Well,
the rest
technically,
are just base.
you know, the downside to that card coming out is that is almost like he was a former Blue. Like, is that our over-under shot to pieces now?
Nah. Because I reckon we've got at least one Queenslander, and we have another Blues in here. Official. So I'm going to cut through these now. We've got Ethan Strange from the Raiders.
Hey, he's a gun. I think he could be one of my favourite players to watch right now. He's just so good.
Dolphins. Jeremy Marshall King.
Okay.
I reckon, and we've named this guy as a potential in the predicted side, your mate, Kalen Ponga.
Ah, mate, that is just a beauty.
So
I pulled up Ulukwatu last week, and you've pulled up Ponga this week. We should do a trade.
I'm in for that, actually.
Yep.
I've got a checklist for the Cowboys.
Yep.
Like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
that's good.
And here you go, last one. Definite Blues starter. Who is it? Have a guess.
Ooh, Blues starter. Let's go with. Let's go with. Geez, it really
separates the men from the boys.
It really does. Small amount of peace. Let's go with Mitch Moses. Cleary.
Close. Cleary.
That's a good card. That's a great card.
We've trumped the overs. It's a
great card.
We've got 2 guaranteed Origin starters, and we have a potential Queensland fullback.
Bloody beautiful.
So that's I'm happy with that deck, and now I've just got to sit here and watch the other 3 collect more dust.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, next week we will get back into this podcast, and we will do another one. So I guess that's it, right? Talking Sport Report. Done for week 2.
I tell you what, that was good. That was really good. I think I'm going to need a drink after that. As always, Eggo, it's an absolute pleasure to sit here and talk shit with you. And I think we're going to do it again next weekend.
We'll have to. We'll go for the high score, week 3 next week. So we'll drop them Sunday night. Get them wherever you get your podcasts, on Spotify or Apple. Just look for Talking Sport Report. Of course, you listen to this right now. Please give us a subscription. And 5 stars. It makes a hell of a lot of difference when getting discovered. We've also got our social accounts. You can follow us at TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, at Talking Sport Report. And I'd love to get some feedback at some point, or get a question, or get just some serious tips for Scotty and I to do something better and some fun segments. talkingsportreport@gmail.com is our email address if you want to get in touch and say hi. Also, the social pipes, you can also reach out there. But, man, it's fun. It's good fun catching up with you on a Sunday night, brother.
It's nice. It's just good to sit here and talk shit. And,
and we know we talk shit.
Yeah, a lot of shit. It's like second language for us.
Yeah, that's it. I don't even know the other language.
Pleasure.
All right, mate. Until next week, all the best. Next week, we've got a fun one because we will be literally days away from Origin. We're going to have, because the Wednesday following will be the big game, right? So we're going to be 3 days out from Origin. We're going to have the EPL basically at wrap-up stage. Yeah. And we're going to really have a pretty good understanding who's going to be in the NBA Finals, which is going to be huge too. So a great week next week if you want to check out the 3 biggest sporting stories. Come and do it here with us at Talking Sport Report. Bye!